In December of 2023, a tired and weathered-weary fence sat just off the sidewalk on Exeter's historic downtown Water Street.
Behind it, nothing but grass and remnants of a structure torn asunder by a roaring fire in June of 1990, where it has remained dormant ever since. This holed-up little alcove on 23 Water Street has been given a new life, as its now previous owners, Nancy Phillips and Elliot Berkowitz, have graciously donated the land to the town of Exeter, albeit given the stipulation that it be converted into a brand new park named Pairpoint Park. The town's planning board, historic district commission, heritage commission, and conservation commission all eagerly voted to support accepting the donation. At a special select board meeting on the morning of December 28th, the residents gathered to voice their support for the land acquisition, and the board voted unanimously to accept the donation.
For those who don't know, this is also the murder scene in my latest book. It's because it has been an eyesore to our downtown for decades. I think we need to look at the source of this donation. Nancy and Elliot have done more to improve the downtown, I think, than anyone else I know.
Yes, I walk downtown Exeter every day. Love the herons, love the eagles. Would love to have another spot to watch them from. And I agree this is another way to welcome people into our town.
This is an opportunity that is very generous for these guys to make the offer, and I think there's a track record in town of many groups and organizations, committees and commissions that are willing to step up, do the work, find grants, volunteer time, and I think the support in the room shows that there's people here willing to lend support, to stay involved, and not let this be something that is voted on and then becomes a burden.
Speaking with town manager Russ Dean, we get a glimpse of how the town feels given their newly acquired piece of land.
Once we went through the due diligence process and we understood where everything was, and we began to reflect a lot on the fact that we were actually going to have a really nice addition to our downtown with this park, it was clear to us all that this was a great opportunity for the town to be able to take advantage of, and we appreciate the genuine generosity of the donors involved, Elliot and Nancy, and we think it's going to be an asset to serve the town for years to come. So the core benefit of having a park like Pairpoint Park will be that people will come to the town and come to the downtown specifically with the knowledge that there is a downtown park that exists and a place for them to go and sit and enjoy lunch, just enjoy the scenic views of the river, and really just a place to make for their own to be part of the downtown. That's an open space.
The Select Board formed the Pairpoint Park Stakeholders Advisory Committee in early 2024 and tasked it with surveying the public and creating recommendations for the future park. The committee got right to work, launching an initial survey and highlighting the current state of the park for residents to see.
So it's a pretty small space. We're thinking of it like a pocket park. It's got a pretty steep grade to start with, but that doesn't mean we're going to end up that way. We have this fantastic granite on site that actually, looks like a pile of rubble, but it's pretty cool because it's antique granite. That might be a nice feature to use in some capacity. And then we have this amazing river view. The park extends to just shy of this cement wall here. That is owned by New Hampshire Fish and Game, and that won't be changing. That is not our property. But the rest of this can become whatever we might envision.
While the future of the park still remained in discussions at the committee level, volunteers kept the momentum going, working with town departments to install a new fence at the property to allow passers-by the ability to see the park and imagine what could be there. In April 2024, the committee took feedback from 750 participants during the initial survey and earlier discussions to come up with 3 potential design concepts. Option 1 would feature an elevated deck that extends from the sidewalk all the way to the river's edge. This concept would include 1,800 square feet of fully accessible gathering space, a cutout in the deck for native trees, playful seating, and native vegetation. Option 2, known as the Shady Bosque, would feature a gently sloped walkway down to the edge of the river. It would include 1,400 square feet of gathering space, movable seating, and an overlook onto the river. Option 3, the Serpentine Path, would turn the site into a gently sloped winding path that leads to a curved overlook of the water. This design would feature rain gardens, planted mounds of artwork, and seating pods with 525 square feet of accessible gathering space. With these new designs, the committee launched a second survey, gathering 570 responses. The committee presented the findings of this survey along with their recommendations at the June 30th Select Board meeting. The survey results had a clear winner in the Shady Bosque design.
So you'd enter the park kind of in the middle of the parcel, where there would be a low retaining wall, potentially with a entrance sign or something sort of identifying where you are in a sense of place, and perhaps a couple of benches. And then you're quickly brought to number 2 on the plan, which is the sloped walk.
At the June 30th meeting, the committee had 4 asks for the Select Board.
First request is regarding the concept and theme. We would be seeking your approval of the Shady Bosque as the concept, as the vision for Pairpoint Park, along with the theme of local flora and fauna, history of the river, and environmental protection. These are in order of like kind of what we need to move forward.
After a brief discussion with questions related to potential dog access for the park and fundraising or budget timelines, the board then decided to authorize the committee to move forward with their items and work with the town manager's office to draft the CIP item for the budget. With the first 4 official goals or committee charges now complete, the Pairpoint Park stakeholders are moving on to their 5th objective, investigating all sources of funding opportunities, including grants, donations, funding partners, and sponsorships. To learn more about the committee and the project to turn 23 Water Street into Pairpoint Park, visit the town website, exeternh.gov/ppsac.